Okay, so these notes are going to be a review of multiplying a polynomial by a monomial. We actually did this at the very beginning of the year, and then we did it right after we came back from Christmas as well. So this should be a review. So this is different from what we did yesterday because now we don't have plus between this -3 and this parentheses, or a plus or minus between this 3b and this parentheses. So now we're actually multiplying. Parentheses mean to multiply, especially when they're, not especially, but when they're just smashed together like this. So this is distribution. So this -3 we're going to multiply times both 8x and +5. So we're distributing this -3 to both pieces, every piece inside the parentheses. So we are multiplying when we do that. So -3 times 8x would result in -24x. And -3 times +5 would be -15, so -15. And that's it. We cannot put these two together. I can't do -24x minus 15 because this one has an x and this one does not. So these are not like terms. So at this point, that is our final answer. Number 2, this time we're distributing a 3 as well as a b. So both 5b plus 8 are going to be multiplied by 3, and they're going to get an extra b. So 5 already has a b, so we're going to put another b with it. And hopefully you remember from laws of exponents, when I multiply b times b, I actually end up adding these exponents because I would have 2b, so that would be b squared. So 15, because 3 times 5 is 15, b squared. Then 3b times 8 is just plus 24. It didn't have a b. We added 1 to it, so there it has now a b. B squared and b are not like terms. They're very similar, but they're not the same, so we cannot combine these. So this would be our final answer here as well. Number 3, we're distributing 11a to both pieces. So 2 and 7 are both going to be multiplied by 11. This a is going to gain another a, and this piece, which doesn't have an a, will get an a. So we're distributing everything inside the parentheses gets whatever's on the outside. So 11a times 2a would be 22a squared. 11a times 7 would be 77a plus 77a. Again, a squared and a not like terms. We cannot put them together, so we're done at that point. Number 4, same thing, except we have a fraction. No real difference here, except it just looks a little bit different because it's a fraction. So 1/2 x times 8x. Half of 8 would be 4, and it already had an x. We put another x with it. That's x squared. Then 1/2 x times -6 would be -3x. Half of 6, -6 would be -3. We put an x with it. So 4x squared minus 3x. Again, x squared and x are not like terms, so you cannot subtract those because they're not alike. We can't do that. Number 5, we're distributing a 7 and x and y. So all 3 of these pieces we're going to distribute to 5x squared and to the -y squared that's already there. So 7xy times 5x squared, we do 7 times 5 is 35. 5x squared already has 2 x's. We put another one with it. That's going to be x cubed. And then this doesn't have any y's, but we're putting a y with it, so that needs to go there. We want to put it in this order, x cubed y, because it goes in alphabetical order. So we don't want to put y in front of the x. All right, and then we do 7xy times -y squared. That's a -1. So 7 times -1 is -7. This one doesn't have any x's, but I'm putting this x with it, so I need to put that first because it goes in alphabetical order. Then this one already had 2 y's, put another y with it. That now becomes y cubed. So we have 35x cubed y minus 7xy cubed. So these look similar, but this one the x is cubed and this one the y is cubed. So these are still not like terms. They're very similar but not alike. So we cannot actually subtract those. We just leave it like that. All right, number 6, we're distributing 5y to each of these 3 pieces inside this parentheses. So 5y times y squared is going to be 5y cubed 5y times negative 3y would be negative 15y squared. And 5y times 6 would be plus 30y. So this time we distributed a monomial to a trinomial. This was 3 pieces. Each one of these inside the parentheses should have been multiplied by 5, so it should be 5 times larger, the coefficient, and then they all got an additional y. So y squared became y cubed. Y became y squared. The 6 didn't have a y, now has a y, plus each of these was multiplied by 5. These are not like terms, y cubed, y squared, y, all different terms. You cannot put those together. Number 7, we're distributing a negative a and b. So remember from notes yesterday, when we distribute a negative, it changes every single sign. So positive 3 becomes negative, positive 4 becomes negative, negative 6 becomes positive. So negative ab to 3b squared times 3b squared is going to be negative 3ab cubed. Then negative ab times 4ab is going to be negative 4a squared b squared. And negative ab times negative 6a squared is going to be positive 6a cubed b. This one we actually would rearrange because we have a here and then a squared and a cubed. This a cubed should come first. The highest degree of the first letter in the alphabet should come first, and then this one, and then this one. The answer here, this answer is not wrong. We just normally would rewrite it with the highest degree first. So if I rewrote this, the final answer would be 6a cubed b. Then this one that has a squared next, so minus 4a squared b squared. Then the last one, which just has a with a 1 exponent. So negative 3ab cubed. All right. Number 8, we're distributing 4m squared to each of these pieces. So multiplying by 4, also adding an m squared to what variables they already have. So 4 times 9 here is going to be 36. We already had an m squared. We're putting another m squared with it. So 2 here plus 2 more make m to the 4th. And then we have an n still there. All right, then we do 4m squared times positive 1mn. So that's plus 4. 1m here plus 2 more that we combine with that. That's going to be 3. So m cubed. Again, just n because I don't have any n's here to combine with that. Then our last piece, 4m squared times negative 5n squared. So 4 times negative 5 is negative 20 m squared, because I'm adding these two m squares here, and then n squared because that already had it. And we want to put m first because it comes first in the alphabet. This one's already in order. M to the 4th, then m cubed, then m squared. So the highest exponent, again, that's the highest degree, comes first. Number 9, we have 1/3 x times 9x squared. So 1/3 of 9 is 3. X times x squared is going to be x cubed. 1/3 x times 3x. So 1/3 times 3 is 1. So plus 1. X times x is going to make x squared. So 1x squared, remember you do not have to write this one. Without writing it, it's implied just by putting an x squared. And then the last term, 1/3 x times negative 6. So 1/3 of negative 6 would be negative 2. And then I have an x there as well. Okay, so now number 10, 11, 12, and 13 are combining notes from today, so distribution, with notes from yesterday where we were adding and subtracting. So we can't forget yesterday our rules for adding and subtracting. So this first one, we're distributing a to 3a. That's going to be 3a squared. A to 2 is plus 2a. We stop distributing an a because our parentheses here ends. But then when I look here, now I have 8 times a. So I'm going to distribute 8 times a. That's plus 8a. Then 8 times negative 4 would be minus 32. So at this point, we've distributed all to every piece, and we got rid of our parentheses. Next step would be to combine like terms. So I have 3a squared. I don't have any other a squared, so I don't have any terms to combine with that. Then we have a positive 2a, so we look for other just a's, and right here we see plus 8a. Those can be combined, so that's going to be plus 10a. And then we still have this minus 32 on the end. I don't have any other constants to combine, so that is it. So 3a squared plus 10a minus 32 is our final answer. Number 11, we're going to distribute 3x times 4x. That's going to be 12x squared. 3x times negative 2 will be minus 6x. We stop distributing 3x because our parentheses ends. Then here we're distributing 6. So 6 times 2x squared is plus 12x squared. 6 times 3x is plus 18x. So we distributed, got rid of our parentheses. Now we combine like terms. So I start with the x squareds because they have a higher degree than the x's. So I have a 12x squared. I look for other x squared terms. There I have one. So 12x squared plus 12x squared is 24x squared. Then we have negative 6x plus 18x. These are like terms because they both have an x. So negative 6 plus 18 is going to be positive 12x. These are not like terms because this is squared, this one is not. All right, number 12, we have 4r that we're distributing to 2r squared, so that's going to be 8r cubed. 4r times negative 3r is minus 12r squared. 4r times positive 5 is plus 20r. And then we have here 6r times 4r squared would be plus 24r cubed. At this point, now we combine like terms. So I have 8r cubed plus 24r cubed is going to be 32r cubed. No, I actually don't need that plus there. So 32r cubed. And then we have, cubed, not squared. So r cubed. Then we have a negative 12r squared. I don't have any other r squareds here, so that's minus 12r squared. Same thing, we have plus 20r, no other terms that just have r, so we just bring that down, plus 20r. All right, last one here. We're distributing first a 2b. So 2b times b squared is going to be 2b cubed. 2b times 8 is going to be plus 16b. Then we have a negative. This is really important. You take the negative with the 3b. So that's a negative 3b times 3b squared. It's going to be negative 9b cubed. Then negative 3b times positive 9b is negative 27b squared. We got rid of our parentheses. Now we combine like terms. So 2b cubed, I look for other b cubes. There's one right here. So 2b cubed minus 9b cubed is negative 7b cubed. Then 16b. I don't have any other b's, but I do have a b squared, so that actually needs to go first, or second actually, because we go cubed, then squared, then the single b. So negative 27b squared goes next, and then last plus 16b. Again, b squared, we didn't have any other b squareds, bring that down. 16b, we don't have any other b's, bring that down. And we put them in order from the highest degree to least degree. Okay, and then we're going to look at some of the word problems in class. Let me know if you have any questions that I can answer on these notes.